Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing this pretty long speed paint actually because I don't know, I feel like talking for a long time because I've been absent for a while and this is not new to you guys, but I actually have a reason. Okay, my reason is that I was at a summer program at SCAD, and if you don't know what SCAD is, it's an art school up in Georgia. It's like 2 hours from my home, so it was a pretty easy commute. I got home on Friday and I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience. Um, Basically, overall, I would say I'm very glad that I went. I know that SCAD kind of has a reputation of not being the best art school because they don't require portfolios, which I don't know, it kind of goes both ways. Like I definitely saw it while I was there. Like there aren't like extremely. I mean, of course, be reminded that everyone's 17, so no one's gonna be like godly. But there weren't the talent level wasn't extremely high. There was like maybe one or two kids that I thought were actually like very talented. Um, my roommate included. She was amazing. Anyway, we're gonna be best friends for life. But anyway, I was gonna say however, even though the talent level is not extremely high, they have a really, really good facilities and they have a very large campus. So basically, it kind of evens out. They need a lot of people to go so they can pay for all the facilities, is basically what I'm assuming. And it seems to work out pretty well. While I was there, like I could use anything like actual SCAD students could use. So I wasn't actually in like the program of like I wasn't a college student per se, but they treated me as one because what I was in was a Rising Star, and I had been planning to go to it all year, and I was really excited. I was a little scared at first. I didn't know how it would be, but I wanted to say like if any of you guys wanted to do something like that, it can be expensive. Like you can do scholarships, but luckily like my family was able to support me in going. But I would say like definitely do it. It gave me a lot to do during the summer, and while I have 3 weeks left until school, it was about 5 weeks of just like every day go to class, do shit, and then go back to your dorm, and like you could either continue working on your art projects or like just have fun like exploring a different town because I don't really travel very much. I really only left my state a couple times before, and it was a really, really great experience. Like I spent so much money, but it was all on art supplies, and it was amazing. Like if you do take one of these programs, like even in art school, like if any of y'all go, I would recommend like taking classes that you have never done before. And what I did was I took an oil painting class, which, as you probably know, I'm very much a digital painter. Like I don't do traditional things very much, and if I do, it's usually in marker or like watercolor. So this was a very extreme jump for me. I'd never done it, so I was completely new to it. But I really, really, really enjoyed it. Like I'm so glad I did it, even though I was super scared. Like, oh, what if I'm like the worst one in the class and like I don't know what I'm doing? I'd say just jump into it because who knows what could happen, and you could really, really enjoy it. And something like I had the opportunity to do, and I was really glad to actually have a teacher because I didn't have a background at all in it, so it could just be whatever she told me. I could just absorb it and do it. And I have a background in digital painting, and oil painting is actually like extremely similar to digital painting in a way because like you can just work on the same thing forever because oil painting stays wet. And I can say like now that I know like the basics of it, I could definitely like do my own pieces of work in oil painting. So like I might try doing like my cartoony figures and just really, really long like 60-hour paintings. I think that'd be so fun. And um I did work on a still life painting, and like the goal was to make it as realistic as possible. I might post that on my Instagram. It's the same as here, Eloquent-Phony. I'll post it probably, I don't know, this weekend. I don't know. I'm a lazy bum, but who knows? And I spent about 60 hours on it. So I'd say like it's definitely like a time commitment because oil painting, like you kind of, it takes your life away a little bit because I would work on the same painting for like 8 hours at a time on the weekends because I just wanted to be really good. And we also did alla prima, and if you don't know what alla prima is, it's basically a wet on wet oil painting technique. And normally, like with our still life painting, we had it time to let each individual layer dry in between if you wanted it to. So every day you'd go back and be a little dry, or you could leave some spots dry and just work on something else while another place in the picture dried. But in Alla Prima, the goal is to go like kind of as fast as possible, because you don't want it to dry at all. You want it to be very wet on wet and do all your mixing like immediately. Like, just try to get the colors right on the first go. You can do a little fixing, but the more fixing you do, the more muddy it gets. So basically, I really enjoyed both ways. I'd say I probably Alla Prima is actually like way harder, because you have to get things right like as soon as you can, or else like you'll just have a muddy ass painting. And I liked the long form painting as well, because it was just very like you can get everything perfect, which I enjoy. And I tend to do that in digital painting anyway, because you can do that through layers. Like, nothing stays wet because it's on the computer. But I can also say, like, doing an actual traditional medium, it made me really like appreciate like just the act of using a paintbrush. Like, I'd never really done it before. Like, I'd done like little acrylic painting sometimes, but I never like really put my all into it. And doing this oil painting stuff, like, it really like changed my view on how things work. And I think even in this painting, like, I used a lot of the techniques that I learned traditionally to like do lighting and just certain things about color that I learned. And to talk a little bit about the painting in this, I wanted to really like have a pretty strong line art, which y'all saw at the beginning, and I wanted to have like a pink line art. That's what I wanted. Like, if you guys know the artist Doxy, or I mean, he's definitely a not safe for work artist. Like, if you're younger, I mean, everyone's gonna look at it, but just be warned, it's not for kids. But he has like really, really great line quality, and he usually uses pink to sketch, so I wanted to like try and do that, and it actually worked really well. I think like I wanted to have like a kind of soft pastel look for this painting. I also was really focusing on the lighting, so you can see like the light comes from one side of his head, and where the light is, it's like completely white, and I really wanted to get like the what's it called, gradation across his face, like to show like this is where the lighting is, you know. And because that's a really big deal in like oil paintings, like you want to or like even in like traditional like still life paintings, you want to know where the light source is, because it just makes everything look a lot more dynamic. While in this picture I didn't use a reference at all. I did have a couple artists in mind, like Doxy, and then there's this artist called Godhead, and they have a Tumblr. I'll probably link it in the description, but I really, really love their art. Like, it's beautiful and it's so smooth, and while she doesn't use a lot of color, it's usually like gray tones, her like faces are just so, I don't know, they get me going. So I'll link that in the description as well. And also, you probably already know this, but there's also this artist called Akiakane, and she does a lot with like color blocking in small areas and then doing realistic shading in other places. She's an anime artist, but like, I don't know, like, if you see the pink shadow under the chin, she does that kind of stuff all the time, and I really, really like it. So I'll link Akiakane, Godhead, and Doxy in the description. But going back to my experience at the Rising Star program in SCAD, I could say like I'm glad I went, for sure. I learned a lot, but like, you don't have to do this kind of stuff if you want to, like, if you want to be an artist. Like, you do not have to go to art school. Like, I'm even debating whether or not I want to go. Like, if I can't get like a really good scholarship, I'm just not going to, because it's way too expensive. And even though like it's a really, really nice experience, like, it's not something I need. Like, I can, if you have motivation, you can do all this stuff on your own. And I feel like that's what I've been doing for a while, but it was really nice to have like a very hands-on experience with like a teacher who, like, she's very good. Her name's Elizebeth Winnel. You could look her up. She's an oil painter and she's amazing. I'll also link her in the description. Yeah, so going, I don't know, it was very like, I'd never been away from my family for more than like, I don't know, I'd actually never left for that amount of time. Like, usually my uncles who I live with, they usually like they travel a lot because they're musicians, and so they'll be gone for like months at a time, but I'm usually at home, and it was the first time I'd ever been like away on my own, and it was very much a good experience for me, because I actually had to like do things based on my decisions instead of having someone tell me to do, which I usually am pretty good about it. But sometimes like I'll just draw all day and I won't take care of myself. Well, when I was at my dorm, like I really had to like consider other people because my roommate, I was living with her, and I just had to really like pay attention, and I think it was good for me. It made me really reevaluate what I wanted to do in art and like life. Because now like I'm really considering being an oil painter, like a traditional oil painter. Who would have thought? And instead of all this like, I mean, I love anime and the style. Like I don't like the super generic stuff, but like all the like the artists I mentioned, like I really like I gravitate towards it. But now I'm starting to like gravitate towards more like traditional paintings, and it's just like, I don't know, I might be a fine artist, who knows. I really enjoyed it, and it's not something I would have done if like I hadn't been encouraged in doing it, if I hadn't had like a really great teacher. Like I loved my teacher, she was wonderful. Great painter, great teaching method, and like just a very kind person. um yeah, I don't know. Also, I want to say, like, again, I'm sorry for my absence. I, I don't know. I need motivation. I'm not good at, like, I have to be in a mood to do, like, digital paintings, I guess. Like, usually I'll just sketch my sketchbook, but, like, I have to, like, it's either, like, I'm doing well traditionally on paper or I'm doing well on digital. Like, it does not seem to, like, go in between. Like, I'll have an art block with one or the other. Sometimes both, which is always annoying. But, um, uh, I don't know. What do you guys want to see? Like, I could do more tutorials instead of like these kind of paintings. And on my last video I did, or like 2 videos ago, people were saying they liked these long form paintings where I just talked while a stream tape was going on. So I'm trying to do that more. I'm probably going to delete all my videos with music on them because of copyright stuff. And maybe like try to make this channel more of a thing for me. Because I do enjoy it. Like, it's not something I hate doing. I just usually like my art isn't good enough to like record, so I just don't do it. And I've made so many recordings that I just haven't used because like it just, I don't know, didn't get me going. But this one I really really liked doing it. It took me about 2 hours to do the line art and all the coloring. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll be back soon. Bye bye.